Imagine being in a room full of people, all smiling, but you sense that something is out of place. Your intuition warns you, but reason tries to ignore it.
However, what if I told you that there are clear signs that you might be dealing with a malicious person? Someone disguised as a friend whose true goal is to manipulate and control.
It might sound like something straight out of a suspense novel, but the truth is, such people are closer than you think. They hide behind sweet words and seemingly harmless actions, but if you know what to look for, you can spot them before they cause irreparable damage to your life. In this video, we will explore 5 powerful signs, based on the wisdom of Stoicism, that will help you see beyond appearances and protect your peace of mind. Get ready to uncover truths that no one has told you and that might change the way you view the world around you. There are people who, with a charming smile and smooth words, manage to mask their true intentions. However, it's not difficult to see that behind this charming facade, there may be a malicious intent. The secret to recognizing these people lies in observing the small signs they let slip. It's as if they leave subtle clues that, if we're attentive, can alert us to their true nature. For instance, someone who always seems to avoid direct questions or frequently contradicts themselves might be hiding something. The art of recognizing deceit is not just a skill. It's an essential defense to preserve our peace of mind. Moreover, it's important to remember that it's not just the words that matter, but also the actions. There's a saying that actions speak louder than words, and this couldn't be more true when it comes to identifying deceitful people. An individual who constantly makes promises but rarely keeps them, or who gives empty compliments but is never there in times of need, might be someone we should watch closely. The practice of Stoicism teaches us to value truth and authenticity and to recognize when we are facing someone who lacks these values. Another crucial point is the need to cultivate an observant mind. Stoicism suggests that we should always be vigilant and rational, analyzing people's actions and words with calm and clarity. This doesn't mean being suspicious of everyone around us, but rather being aware that not everyone we encounter has good intentions. By developing this skill, you protect yourself from disappointments and manipulations, maintaining your integrity and promoting healthier, more authentic relationships. Observation is a powerful tool that, when used well, can reveal hidden truths and protect us from emotional and psychological traps. In Stoicism, the importance of observation is rooted in the need to understand the world clearly and objectively. It is through a keen eye that we can see beyond appearances and identify behaviors that, at first glance, might go unnoticed. For example, a person who is overly friendly might be trying to win your trust to manipulate you later. The practice of observation allows you to see beyond the smile and perceive the true intentions behind the actions. The ability to observe is not something that is acquired overnight. It requires practice and patience. Stoicism teaches us to cultivate this ability daily, paying attention to details and reflecting on the behavior of those around us. This doesn't mean becoming paranoid, but rather being aware that the world is full of nuances and that not everything is as it seems. A good practice is to start by observing small interactions in your daily life, such as how people respond to simple questions or how they react in stressful situations. These observations can reveal much about a person's character. Furthermore, observation should be accompanied by rational analysis. It's important not only to notice the details, but also to interpret them correctly. Stoicism values reason as a reliable guide for life, and it is this reason that helps us decipher the signs we observe. For example, if someone is constantly trying to please everyone, this could be a sign of insecurity or an attempt at manipulation. By using reason to analyze others' behavior, you can make more informed decisions about whom you want to associate with. The power of observation also extends to self-awareness. By observing others, we often learn about ourselves, reflecting on how we would react in similar situations. This helps us grow and become more balanced and aware individuals. Observation is, therefore, a practice that not only protects but also enriches our lives, allowing us to live according to Stoic principles of clarity, integrity, and inner peace. Another important dimension of observation is empathy. When we carefully observe someone's behavior, not just to identify signs of danger, but also to understand their emotions and motivations, we develop a deeper sense of human connection. Stoicism teaches us to see people as companions on life's journey, each struggling with their own internal battles. This empathy helps us cultivate patience and compassion, essential elements for living a virtuous and meaningful life. Conscious observation also allows us to recognize patterns in our own interactions. Perhaps you notice that you tend to attract certain types of people or that you react predictably in certain situations. Identifying these patterns is the first step in changing behaviors that no longer serve us. Stoicism encourages us to use this self-awareness to grow and improve, always striving to live according to our highest values. Finally, the power of observation teaches us the importance of slowing down and truly paying attention to what is happening around us. In a world that values speed and productivity, Stoicism reminds us that true wisdom comes from calmness and reflection. By cultivating a regular practice of observation, you not only protect yourself from deceitful people but also enrich your own life experience, becoming more present, aware, and connected to the world around you. Anger is a powerful emotion, but in Stoicism, it is seen as a sign of weakness. People who frequently display anger or manipulate others to achieve their goals are not seen as virtuous but rather as slaves to their own passions. For the Stoic, true strength lies in controlling one's emotions and maintaining serenity, even in the face of provocation. Dealing with people who use anger as a weapon requires a deep understanding of their motivations and firm resistance to their attempts at manipulation. One of the keys to dealing with others' anger is to stay calm. Stoicism teaches that our reaction is the only thing we can control. When someone tries to manipulate you through anger, the best response is to react with tranquility and rationality. This not only disarms the angry person but also protects your own peace of mind. Imagine a scenario where, instead of reacting with anger to an unfair criticism, you respond with a calm smile and a thoughtful word. This not only frustrates the manipulator but also elevates your standing in the eyes of others. Additionally, it's important to recognize the signs of manipulation from the start. Manipulative people often use anger to intimidate or control, creating an environment where their victims feel pressured to give in. Stoicism teaches the importance of clear thinking and strong character to resist these tactics. For example, if someone tries to pressure you into making a quick decision through intimidation, a Stoic response would be to ask for time to reflect, showing that you won't be manipulated by fear or pressure. Self-control is one of the central virtues of Stoicism, and this directly applies to how we deal with the anger and manipulation of others. When you remain firm and do not allow yourself to be dragged into others' emotional chaos, you demonstrate inner strength and control over your own life. This doesn't mean ignoring or suppressing your emotions, but rather learning to manage them so that they don't govern your actions. Regular practice of Stoic meditation can be a useful tool in this regard, helping to develop a calm and resilient mind. Another important aspect is understanding that anger is often a reflection of the internal suffering of the person who expresses it. Stoicism teaches us to see beyond appearances and recognize that others' actions are often driven by their own pain and insecurities. By realizing this, you can respond with compassion instead of anger, offering a peaceful solution instead of fueling the conflict. This is a practical example of how to apply Stoicism in everyday relationships, promoting peace and harmony rather than conflict. Dealing with manipulators also requires strong self-awareness. When you know your values and limits, you are less likely to be influenced by attempts at manipulation. Stoicism encourages the practice of regular self-reflection, so that you are always aware of who you are and what you value. This creates a solid foundation for resisting any attempt to sway your beliefs or actions. If someone tries to make you act against your principles, a Stoic response will be simply to refuse, calmly and clearly stating your reasons. Anger and manipulation can also be seen as tests of character. How you react to these situations says a lot about who you are. Stoicism teaches us that every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen our character and practice virtue. By seeing others' anger and manipulation as opportunities for growth, you change the dynamic of the situation, shifting from being a victim to being the protagonist of your own life. This not only strengthens your emotional resilience but also fosters an environment of mutual respect and understanding. Finally, it's important to remember that you are not alone in this journey. Many wise Stoics have faced similar challenges and left valuable teachings on how to deal with anger and manipulation. Studying these teachings and applying them in your daily life can make all the difference. Books like Meditations by Marcus Aurelius or Letters to Lucilius by Seneca are excellent resources for those who wish to deepen their understanding of Stoicism and learn how to better deal with emotional difficulties. With practice and patience, you can turn these challenges into opportunities for growth and live a more balanced and virtuous life. Manipulation is one of the most insidious forms of control. Manipulative people use subtle tricks to distort reality, causing their victims to question their own judgment. Stoicism, with its emphasis on clear thinking, offers essential tools to combat these tactics. Recognizing the signs of manipulation is the first step to protecting yourself from its consequences. Manipulators often use techniques like gaslighting, where the victim is made to doubt their own sanity. Identifying this manipulation early on can prevent deep emotional harm. One of the great dangers of manipulation is that it undermines personal autonomy.
When you allow someone else to manipulate your actions and decisions, you relinquish control over your own life.
Stoicism teaches that we must be masters of ourselves, governing our emotions and actions with wisdom and reason. Imagine a scenario where someone tries to convince you that your ideas are inferior or irrelevant. By applying Stoic principles, you would respond with confidence in your own judgment, refusing to be swayed by another's attempt at control. Moreover, manipulators often exploit emotional weaknesses, using them as levers to get what they want.
Stoicism emphasizes the importance of knowing and understanding yourself, strengthening these vulnerable areas so they cannot be used against you.
A practical example would be someone who manipulates your need for approval to control your actions. By recognizing this need and working to overcome it, you become immune to these tactics, acting according to your own values rather than the expectations of others. Manipulation can also create an unequal power dynamic in relationships, where one person controls the other through fear, guilt, or obligation. Stoicism reminds us that we should seek relationships based on mutual respect and equality, where both parties have a voice and autonomy. If you notice someone trying to manipulate you for their own gain, Stoicism suggests the importance of distancing yourself from that relationship, or at least setting clear boundaries to protect your emotional integrity. Another dangerous aspect of manipulation is that it can be difficult to identify, especially when it comes from people close to you. Friends, family, or colleagues may, consciously or not, use manipulation to shape your choices. Stoicism teaches us to maintain clarity of thought, analyzing the intentions behind the actions of those around us. This doesn't mean being suspicious of everyone, but rather being aware that manipulation can come from where you least expect it and being prepared to deal with it. Resistance to manipulation is also directly tied to your ability to stay calm under pressure. Manipulators often try to create a sense of urgency or crisis to make you react impulsively.
Stoicism, with its emphasis on serenity and self-control, teaches the importance of taking a deep breath, assessing the situation with clarity, and making rational, rather than emotional, decisions.
By doing so, you neutralize manipulative tactics and regain control over your actions. A classic example of manipulation is when someone tries to make you feel guilty for something that isn't your responsibility. This can happen in various situations, from work to personal life. Stoicism suggests that you should examine the situation objectively and ask yourself if the guilt is truly justified. If it's not, reject it. This not only frees you from the manipulative influence, but also reinforces your autonomy and confidence in your own decisions. Finally, it's crucial to remember that manipulation is a form of dishonesty. Stoicism values truth and integrity above all, and manipulation is the opposite of these values.
By identifying and resisting manipulation, you not only protect yourself but also contribute to creating a more honest and transparent environment around you. This strengthens not only your personal relationships but also your own moral and ethical compass, allowing you to live according to Stoic principles of virtue and wisdom. Setting clear boundaries is essential for maintaining mental and emotional well-being. In Stoicism, the importance of boundaries is linked to the idea that each individual must protect their inner peace and autonomy. Without well-defined boundaries, it's easy to get lost in the expectations and demands of others, giving up your own tranquility. Imagine a situation where a colleague constantly imposes their tasks on you, expecting you to always say yes.
Without a clear boundary, you might end up overwhelmed and resentful. Stoicism teaches that it's necessary to learn to say no when something compromises your inner balance. Establishing boundaries is not just about protecting yourself from external influences, but also about asserting your identity and values. Stoicism suggests that by setting boundaries, you are essentially affirming who you are and what's important to you. For example, if honesty is a core value for you, establishing a boundary regarding dishonest behaviors in the workplace is a way to protect that value. This not only strengthens your own integrity but also signals to others that you won't tolerate actions that go against your principles. Moreover, boundaries are crucial for maintaining healthy relationships. In a relationship where boundaries are respected, there is a balanced exchange of needs and expectations. Stoicism teaches that we should seek relationships based on mutual respect and reciprocity, where both sides understand and respect each other's boundaries. If you notice someone constantly crossing your boundaries, it may be necessary to reassess that relationship and, if needed, distance yourself to protect your emotional well-being. Boundaries also play a significant role in managing time and energy. When you establish clear boundaries about how your time and energy will be spent, you avoid burnout and focus on what truly matters.
Stoicism, with its emphasis on moderation and self-control, suggests that we should be selective with our energies, investing them only in activities and relationships that truly matter.
A practical example would be setting specific times for work and rest, ensuring that both receive the attention they deserve without encroaching on each other's space. Uncomfortable, especially if we are used to pleasing others. However, Stoicism reminds us that true value lies in being true to oneself, even if it means displeasing others. The regular practice of setting boundaries strengthens your ability to make decisions aligned with your values and goals, regardless of external pressures. Another benefit of establishing boundaries is that they help prevent resentment.
When you clearly define what is acceptable and what is not, you avoid the frustration that arises when your boundaries are constantly violated.
Stoicism teaches us that resentment is a poison to the soul and that we must do everything possible to avoid situations that feed it. By setting clear boundaries and communicating them assertively, you protect your inner peace and cultivate healthier, more balanced relationships. Boundaries are also a form of self-respect.
When you establish and maintain your boundaries, you are affirming your worth as an individual and making it clear that you deserve to be treated with respect and dignity.
Stoicism reminds us of the importance of honoring ourselves and our principles, even if it means facing others' disapproval. By maintaining your boundaries, you demonstrate that you value your own integrity and will not allow anyone to compromise it. Finally, establishing boundaries is also a way to grow and evolve.
Each time you set a new boundary, you are essentially redefining who you are and what you want for your life.
This is an important part of personal and spiritual development, something that Stoicism deeply values.
By establishing and maintaining your boundaries, you not only protect your well-being but also pave the way to becoming the best version of yourself, living according to the Stoic principles of wisdom, courage, and self-sufficiency. Have you ever stopped to think about how many times you ignored those subtle signs, those small voices in your mind that tried to warn you about someone?
Now that you know the 5 signs that reveal a bad person, how about starting to apply them in your life? Reflect on your relationships, observe the behavior of those around you, and don't be afraid to establish boundaries when necessary.
Remember, your peace of mind is non-negotiable, and Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in maintaining clarity and serenity, even in the face of adversity.
So, are you ready to protect your well-being and cultivate healthier relationships? If this information was helpful to you, share it with someone who could also benefit. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here you will continue learning how to apply Stoic wisdom to your life, to live more fully and consciously. See you in the next video.